Oh, one of my favorite topics on the show, real estate. Let's ask questions like, should you take on that big kitchen reno? How much do you actually need for a down payment? These are just a few of the questions that our next guest hears on a very regular basis. Donny Mangos is a real estate expert, and he's here with us, and a lot of answers to common questions about buying and selling property. I want to dive right in. Donny, Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year.
Real estate on the top of mind for a lot of people.
Totally.
Especially in a few markets in this country. Let's talk about renovations. You want to list... What are the rooms that you should focus on if you want to do a reno?
I get this question a lot, and the truth is you tackle projects that others find cumbersome and tiring and exhausting. Kitchens, bathrooms. You know, if you're pulling down a wall in a living room, doesn't really add value when you're replacing that, but when you're doing things like replacing cupboards and new appliances, you can do it, and you can do it in a way that's cost-effective to get you some better return on investment. So shop on Craigslist for stainless steel appliances or whatever. It'll help increase the value. It'll help increase the appeal of a home. So
that's where your money.
You should, for sure.
Kitchens and bathrooms.
Kitchens and bathrooms, because there's an inconvenience tax associated with it. It's a hard job to do, and the buyers taking on a brand new home probably have no means of accomplishing that.
Okay, let's talk about down payments.
Yeah.
How much do you actually need? Break it down for us.
Right. So the Bank of Canada Act does it for us. It says we can't lend you more than 80% of the value of a property. Great. Not everyone qualifies with 20% down. People have to qualify.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. A first-time home buyer, you know, in an up-and-coming market, say you're buying a property that's worth $1 million, that's 200 grand. Yes. 200 grand is a tough number to reach. So the bank does allow you to buy with as little as 5% down if you can qualify. Still, like the Bank of Canada is limiting the exposure of the banks to 80% of the value of the loan. They introduced another insurance package which helps people qualify. You'll pay for it as a consumer, but you can buy with as little as 5% down. You shouldn't, but you could.
Okay, so you need to go and follow up with a lender to talk about that.
Absolutely you would.
Okay.
Or visit CMHC's website.
Okay, let's talk about this quintessential question, always. Do you list first and then look for another property later? Or are you already looking for a property first and buying and then listing your own?
This is not a one-size-fits-all thing. It comes down to the market. So if you're in a very active seller's market where things are popping up and disappearing pretty quickly, if you sold before you bought, you may be homeless for a little while. So you've got to buy before you sell in that scenario. But if you're in a more depressed market where things are sitting on the market for a long time, you need to know that you can actually sell your property before you can buy the next one. And there will be inventory for you to look at after you sold your home. So it's not a one-size-fits-all for sure. It's a buyer's market, seller's market scenario. Sell first in a buyer's market and buy first in a seller's market.
Okay, that's great advice. Yeah. I want to talk about pricing now. You've decided to list your home. So is the list price, are you going to underlist it, hoping to attract potential buyers? Or are you going to list it at the price that you think, this is what I really actually want for my property?
It comes down to the seller. If it's my suggestion to my client, if the property is unique enough or supply is so short, then I probably am going to list it a little bit below where market value is. Not $100,000 or $1 million below, but a little bit below, 10, 20, 30, 50 maybe. And then I will hold back offers for a little while, make sure the market actually gets to visit the property. Because I don't want the first offer to come in to be the one that we take. I want people to see it, get a actual impression as to what the market's like. So if it's unique enough, I'll do that. If it's not, if I'm dealing with a townhouse in a complex where there are 4 for sale at the exact same time and they're all identical, I'm not offering anything unique. I probably will list it at a number that I want to achieve for market value. So I won't hold back offers and price it low. I'll list it at a market value or a little bit above.
Okay, so a lot of times people want to get the most bang for their buck. So they're going to be looking for areas that are up and coming, that are not at top prices yet for their properties. How does one identify this area is not necessarily really hot now, but it could be or will be?
So if you're looking like nationally, you can look at immigration patterns. I mean, are people moving into the town or the city? Are they leaving? Is infrastructure projects being promoted by the government in the neighborhood? If you see all that kind of stuff, like we experienced in Kitchener-Waterloo a few years ago, people were moving in there. They were building houses, they were building roads, they were building buildings. So that's a good sign that this area is on the rise. Hamilton recently as well, they've seen great gains because proximity to Toronto. People are moving out of Toronto, they're moving into Hamilton to make it affordable. That's a nice neighborhood to buy into as well. More locally, you look for things that are between 2 excellent neighborhoods that are still a bit depressed and find the opportunity to buy something in between those 2 neighborhoods because you know that as population builds, it's going to swallow that neighborhood as well and increase the value across the
It's
board.
that sprawl effect.
Absolutely what it is. And it works.
And it works.
And there's money there, right?
And that's what we're talking about here. Great tips. Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
this. We'll be making notes. Hope you were making notes. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you, guys.
joining us
Thank you.
today. We're going to put all of these notes on our website, which is yourmorning.ca. So good information for you to check out.